Now a case that has evoked outrage from more than 100,000 people here and around the world. Authorities say a 16-month-old baby was brutally beaten and later died. The woman charged in the case was sentenced to just 77 days in jail. We sent Lisa Guerrero to investigate.
With just over 1,000 residents, the quaint town of Topeka, Indiana has a fitting motto: life in the past lane. But it's a horrible crime from the past that's now putting a dark cloud over the town. 4 years ago, this adorable toddler was brutally beaten. Doctors tried desperately to revive her, but 16-month-old Alissa Guernsey didn't make it.
This was a little baby. I mean, it's just incomprehensible.
She had bruises all over her face and body, a broken arm, lacerations on her lip, and her hair was even pulled out.
She deserves justice.
Bernadine Bukafori never even knew Alissa, but today she and dozens of women say they're marching to seek justice for the toddler.
Justice for Alissa!
They call themselves Alissa's Army, and they traveled thousands of miles from all over the country to protest the fact that the woman arrested in the case walked free after just 77 days in jail.
Her killer only served 77 days. The reason for us being here today is because we won't stand for that.
They're talking about this woman, Christy Schaefer. She's baby Alissa's cousin and was caring for her when she died. The death was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner, but Christy was never charged with killing baby Alissa. Instead, she was charged and pled guilty to a far lesser crime, neglect of a dependent.
We're going to fight for her until she gets her justice. We're not stopping.
Christy could have been sentenced to up to 20 years in prison, but the judge in the case, Scott Vanderbeck, gave her just 10 years and then surprisingly suspended 6 of them. But his leniency was far from over. In a shocking twist, Judge Vanderbeck reduced Christy Schaefer's sentence from 4 years to a grand total of just 77 days.
Why?
It turns out Schaefer's father works at the local bank just down the street from the courthouse, and the judge admits knowing him well. While that might not seem like a big deal in a small town like this, some critics say that's a clear conflict of interest that could have made the judge more sympathetic towards Schaefer. Christy Schaefer's father, Kerry Sprunger, is a prominent citizen in town and the vice president of Farmers State Bank. This is what the judge said about Christy's father during a court hearing. "I know Mr. Sprunger. He's been on some boards with me. I know he's got a good heart."
I don't want to talk to you now.
We caught up with Judge Vanderbeck leaving the courthouse. Why did you let Christy Schaefer go after serving only 77 days?
Judicial rules of conduct did not allow me to give a statement at this time.
The criminal case is over, correct? You let her walk. After 77 days, sir, don't you think you owe people an explanation about that? So what does County Prosecutor Jeff Weibel have to say about that reduced sentence? Did you protest that reduced sentence, or did you ask for the judge to recuse himself because he knew Christy's family?
Well, my position was that the judge should not have given her that little time.
He also admits knowing Christy Schaefer's father, but denies any conflict of interest. Many people think that Christy Schaefer got away with murder. What is your response?
She didn't get away with murder.
I think she got away with torture. This is baby Alissa's mother, Kelly. After she relapsed into drug abuse, she was forced to give up custody of Alissa to her cousin Christy Schaefer. That's when she says baby Alissa was turned into a punching bag.
She looked so bad. She was so skinny and she didn't barely have any hair.
Christy was asked about Alissa's injuries during a deposition in this audio recording.
Yesterday, can you explain to me how the child got all these bruises on his face?
Why can't I?
Smack the child, beat the child.
No, never.
Christy says baby Alissa had spontaneous bruising. She also claimed the family dog would sometimes run into the child and knock her down. But according to this report by the Indiana Department of Child Services, the fatal blow that killed Alissa was described as that of an adult punching a child in the mouth as hard as they could.
Christy, we'd like to talk to you.
When we tried to speak with Christy at her home, she called the police.
She does not want to talk and she doesn't want anybody on the property, so.
Okay. We finally caught up with her leaving this laundromat. Christy, I'm Lisa Guerrero with Inside Edition. We'd like to know why baby Alissa was injured so many times in your care. Did you hurt baby Alissa? Did you kill baby Alissa, Christy? Today, Alyssa's army vows to never rest until they say justice is found for this sweet baby girl whose life was cut tragically short. Justice for